Pressure on the ball. Still, they've dropped. Just can beat Owens. Up, up. Mini screening. Upwards marking. Go, Owen. Go, Tail. Well done, Jay. Higher, higher, higher. Look at the full action. Go. Go, Owen. Go in. Organise again. Across Izzy. Across Owen. Across Taylor. Up a drop. Taylor. Flatten off, Lil. Space to drive. Movement above the ball. Up and see. Up. Go on, Taylor. Go on, Taylor. Pocket K, Taylor's the outside. Come.
Great run, Sam. That was excellent movement. Georgia.
Hey, keep going. Yeah, you've thrown your help up. Roll out. Harper, what's behind you?
2 minutes, guys.
Change your
Keep working.
Drop, friend. Pressure on the ball. Good. Go on.
Keep working.
Go, CK. Well done.
Good line, girls. Well, good evening and welcome to Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility, where thanks to these outstanding facilities, round 13 of the NPL Women's is go tonight between Adamstown Rosebuds and Newcastle Olympic. It's been a rollercoaster few weeks for Olympic, with head coach Neil Owens resigning just days before their clash with ladder leaders Maitland last Friday, forcing Jacob Jones into the role. Despite the defeat to the Magpies, Jones says he saw encouraging signs in the style of football he wants his side to play moving forward. Meanwhile, for the Buds, fresh off the bye, tonight presents a massive opportunity to grab a much-needed 3 points, and perhaps even more motivation lies in the fact that they are still searching for their first ever win over Olympic in the history of this competition. I'm Harry Scobie, and alongside me is current New Lambton Eagles and former Jet striker Tara Andrews. Tara, a huge night ahead. These two sides played out a cracker last time at Darling Street Oval. Adamstown, though, can they pick up their first win against Olympic tonight, and what are they going to have to do to get the points?
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be an interesting battle tonight. I think Olympic have come off 2 games where they've lost 5-0, so I think the momentum's definitely with Adamstown. They've put in some really good performances sort of in the last few weeks. Obviously had the bye last week, but I think they've probably got a little bit more momentum, and playing their style of football, I think they might be able to get over Olympic tonight, so we'll wait and see. But it's great that we can obviously have games like this at this facility and still have a football match this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, it's double Adamstown Olympic tonight, as well as the other field behind us here at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. You mentioned there, Adamstown, they just sticking to their principles week in, week out, and as I said, fresh off the bye. Let's take a look at how they will line up this evening. In goals, as always, Olivia Sneddon. The back 4 of Eleanor Hayes, Knowles, Hogg and Laurie. It's a midfield 3 of McFadden, Cook and Horgan. And this attack, Cook, Netswang and Tanya Jones. They've been dangerous to start this season. For Olympic, we know they are under Neil Owens. Let's have a look at how they line up, obviously coming off the back of 2 5-0 losses on the road. In goal is Isabella Aquilina. Jess Evans' partners, Isabella Threlfo at the back. Zara Boskowski at right back, Kate Heap at left back. The midfield 3 consists of Rosie Copus-Brown, Sophie Wormsley and Sophie McDonald. While going forward, Ava McGann on the right, Maddie Howard to start up top and Eva Donnelly on the left. So both teams going through their final instructions for this one. As I mentioned, massive thank you to Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility to have these games on. Olympic, a massive test for them tonight, searching for a much-needed win. I want to touch on Mary Netswang, though. What a player she's been for Adamstown the last 2 times. Well, you mentioned it pretty much, Tara. I think every game you've called this season has been the Buds. What's impressed you about her this season?
Yeah, I think Mary's been really impressive this whole season. I think she's one of their key players, obviously. Can score goals quite easily. She's got very good feet. She can obviously bring other players into the game, so I think she'll be really important for them tonight. And there she is, straight on the ball.
Straight onto the ball. Here's Adamstown running to the right of your screens. Olympic to the left in their white kit this evening. Isabella Aquilina getting a good touch on the ball early on. Both coaches vocal early on in this one. Here's Ava McGann playing out on the left. Now thump forward, Jones has the run of Netswang in behind. Netswang being so pivotal to Adamstown's season. Jones battling hard. Just come out left, Ava McGann. To look to run at Laurie here. Slips it through to the overlapping run. There's a chance here for Olympic. McDonald. Force back to McGann, who's seen plenty of the ball. Laurie again being so consistent for the Buds this season. Picks that one off. Jones to Netswang. Leah Laurie's played every minute for the Buds this season. Incredible at right back, a fullback who loves to get forward as well. The captain of this Rosebud side as well, as here's Jess Evans, the Copus-Brown. That pass intended outright, couldn't find its target. You see a good contingent of fans in attendance tonight. Despite the weather weekend, Tara, it's actually hasn't been such a bad day today here.
Yeah, that's right. The sun's pretty much been out today, so I think all other football players that had a game this weekend were probably looking at the weather and said, why can't I play football? But obviously some of those fields are pretty waterlogged and not the best to be able to play on those fields and ruin them for future matches. So yeah, we're lucky enough to obviously have this facility and still have games on this weekend, which is really good to see. And obviously today, I think these two teams are Rosebuds and 5th for Olympics, so they're really fighting to sort of try and make it into that top 4.
Yeah, going to be a massive battle, that's for sure. Martin Slade did mention midweek he thinks his side are still finals potential. Take a massive 3 points tonight as Maddie Howard slipped in behind. Olivia Sneddon coming out. She reads the danger well. She's gone to ground in the process, but that was a crucial intervention. Sneddon is slowly getting back to her feet. Now Olympic leading the press, and they've done quite well there to force a throw, have they? No, play will continue, and Sneddon being forced to get to her feet, and she still seems to feel some discomfort. Probably didn't want the ball to get played to her there, Tara.
Bit of a dangerous ball there, I think. I don't think they knew that she was still down. She's obviously still down now, and will need some attention from the physio.
It was a crucial interception. Maddie Howard for Olympic. It's been a bit isolated this season, but does have 2 goals to her name, and she nearly got in around the back of Olivia Sneddon there.
Yeah, really dangerous player, Howard, and she has come off the bench, you know, also the start of the season for Olympic, but obviously gotten a start for today, and they need her. She's got a great left foot on her. She can score goals, so it's really good to see her starting in this team today and see what she can do.
Well, usually it will be Olympics leading goal scorer Gemma House leading the line, but out to what is believed a hamstring injury, so a bit of a blow there for Jacob Jones' side. Sneddon still down, being assessed for now. As I mentioned, despite being a weather-interrupted week, next week is where majority of this round's clashes will take place. Tara Andrews and New Lambton Eagles in action on Tuesday night here against Lake Macquarie before Wednesday night. Isn't that going to be a spicy one? Magic and Maitland. We know the drama that unfolded the last time those two sides met at Cook Square Park. This time, though, there's been a bit of change in personnel for both sides, and Maitland particularly looking to hunt down that premiership. Magic sit quite nicely there on the ladder as well. Those two matches out at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility.
I think it'll be an interesting matchup on Wednesday. Maitland, the last 2 games have, you know, had some probably closer contests than they were expecting. So I think it's a bit of a turn for them. So I think they're going to be wanting to sort of get back to their winning ways quite comfortably, and yeah, Magic can sort of shake things up. So they've got some goal scorers, and they can win games. So it'll be a really interesting battle.
I believe Broadmeadow also train on Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility for a large part of the season, so who knows? That one coming to you Wednesday night though. But to the action here, Olivia Sneddon still on the ground. Both teams going through a bit of a talk. It's been a cagey start to this one.
Yeah, not a great start for Liv Sneddon. She looks like she's getting back to her feet now. Hopefully okay. I think, you know, she generally keeps quite a high line as a goalkeeper, so any through balls she's normally out to pretty quickly, and that was the one that she came out to with Maddie Howard through ball and got the clearance, but obviously got, you know, clipped or rolled her ankle or something like that in the process.
It's good to see that play has resumed, and you mentioned there, Tara, balls in behind. Well, last time these two sides met, it went down to the wire. Olympic coming out on top with the 3 points, but talking about balls in behind Adamstown, I reckon I could have counted 20 plus offsides that day. They are a much improved side now, it's fair to say.
Yeah, I think I might have given Martin Slade that feedback too. Maybe practiced staying on side a little bit, but no, they've done much better, and it was a frustrating game, I think, for everyone to watch, especially if you're an Adamstown fan. So I think, you know, a couple of weeks later they played Magic and scored 5 goals. So we know that they can score goals.
Certainly do. Here's Laurie on the ball now. One thing though about this Adamstown side is they've conceded first in every game this season. So in their 10 fixtures this season, they may have come from behind, like you mentioned there, the Magic game. They went down within the space of 2 minutes, but they are a side that if you want to play a game with them, they don't mind a second half comeback. Laurie will take this throw in just shy of the halfway line. That's when to cook. Laurie being put under pressure by multiple Olympic plays. Here's McGann. On run out of play for an Olympic throw-in. So still looking for a bit of urgency, the Olympic side. Here's Howard again, chasing him behind. And has she won the corner? She has. So the first set piece of this evening goes away of the Olympic. It's been a decent start in this one.
My memory serves me correctly. I think the corners on that game that we also called were probably not the best ones. I think there was a fair few that might have hit the first defender, so let's hope that Olympic can sort of get it into the danger area here and see if they can get anything on it.
First chance of a real promise this evening, cleared by Adamstown initially. Thumped out of the danger, all the way for a throw-in. Coming across to take is Bozkowski. Again, Howard the target. In a battle, she'll have her hands full defensively this evening with the back two of Adamstown. Jenna Doyle, though, still on the bench for the Rosebuds. Quite a strong bench for both sides. Has that one crept out of play? No. As now in Adamstown, their turn to have a throw. So still looking to open up and get their foot on the ball a little bit, both these sides. Baden's flick on. Aquilina now with the ball. Goes centrally. Wormsley to Copus Brown. Pinched off the Buds. Can they create something here on the counter? They'll go out left to the overlapping run. There's a chance, a few runners in the box. Clipped in, next swing was the target. Didn't get her head onto it. Now it's Olympics' turn up the other end. Maddie Howard, who's been busy early on, but that one will just roll out of play for a Buds throw-in. So as I mentioned pre-match, this fixture heavily dominated by Newcastle Olympic. 10 wins to Adamstown's none, and also 2 draws in this fixture. So Olympic, they know they don't want Adamstown to break that record tonight. Away from home this season, Olympic as well. Back-to-back 5-0 losses, as you mentioned, Tara. So certainly looking to not only score goals, but keep them out.
Yeah, I think obviously a little bit of disruption for Olympic in the last couple of weeks with Neil Owens leaving the club, so a bit of an adjustment for the team. I think, you know, Jacob Jones has been their assistant coach anyway, so I'm sure they're used to having him around and listening to him. So I think, you know, this might be the game that sort of changes things for them. But yeah, I think coming off the back of 2 5-0 losses is a pretty tough one to take. So hopefully this is the game that sort of kicks them into gear and changes a little bit for them.
Yeah, only 1 win in their last 5. To be fair, they haven't been at Darling Street Oval since that 3-0 win against Charlestown Azuri, so they'll be looking forward to being back at Darling Street Oval in 2 weeks' time. That's Olympic. Free kick short of the halfway line, which they'll push to Jess Evans. Evans coming out wide, touched by Bozkowski, who's rep forward in this one. Now Jones looking to slip it through. McFadden just didn't have the pace to get there. But the Buds starting to sense they're growing into this one. Quick throw, McFadden. All the way back. Cook. In the corner, they're surrounded by Olympic players. Now Jess Evans can finally thump it forward. Howard comes flying across. Laurie looking to slip it through. All play caught unaware. Net swing. Tried to chase that one down. Just had a little bit too much pace behind it. Now Aquilina to take to Jess Evans. You hear the press being urged on by Martin Slade, forcing Olympic into trouble here. Done well to pinch it back, so a throw in deep into Adamstown territory.
One of Adamstown's strengths is obviously their press, their energy. They've got lots of young players who can run a lot, so you know, they're going to want to try and put Olympic under a lot of pressure tonight, and if they can press them high and try and win the ball high, it puts them in a much better position to try and obviously go on to score those goals.
It's been such a roller coaster of a season for an Adamstown fan, but Martin Slade, you feel confident with him at the role, especially in the football that they're trying to play. Like I said, don't count them. Don't count anyone out of the finals hunt just yet. You know, Utah and the New Lambton Eagles will be chasing down Maitland in the hunt for the premiership.
I think it'll be a tough chase, but we're chasing. I think in this league too, you know, there's so many results every week that you can't necessarily pick them. It could be like a 1-0 game, it could be a 5-0 game or a 5-4. So it's really up and down, and it's just what team on that day has their best game and takes their chances, essentially.
He is. Certainly the Buds in a little attacking spree there, but couldn't find net swing. Now thumped forward by Aquilina. Howard, the target in behind. She goes to ground. The free kick goes away with the Buds though. Loves to throw herself around up top there, Maddie Howard. Now Adamstown turn for them to keep the ball. Here's Laurie. As Cook to her right, goes centrally. Jones, that looked like a handball from our angle. Play on for now, net swing. Laurie thumps it forward. Woskowski, clever footwork. Jess Evans sends one over the top. One will have a little bit too much speed on it though. Woskowski deep into the half. Howard, the target. Lovely flick on there. Releases out wide. Donnelly. Adamstown working hard to get this one forward. Boskowski with the interception. Laurie to Cook. They've worked this well. Horgan. Net swing. Now space opens up out right. Cook doesn't have too many runners in behind. No Tanya Jones is usually making those runs in and behind opposition defences. With Faden's touch. Look to spring it out left. Here's net swing. She's looking for options. Doesn't have too many. She'll go to McFadden. He releases the space out left here. There is a fair bit of it for the Buds. Net swing. Morgan presenting centrally. Morgan into Jones, trying to use her strength. We know she can do so well and trying to get through a crowd of white shirts there for Olympic, but Adamstown looking dangerous when they go forward, but so are Olympic. Howard making the run in behind. Nelly go herself. Now Jones again the target, a bit too much pace, and Tari sense that both teams need to be a little bit more patient on the ball.
Yeah, that's right. They're getting some good possession in the middle of the field, but just sort of forcing it a little bit too much to go forward. Obviously, you want to score goals, and the way to do that is to, you know, pass the ball forward and see who you can get in good positions, but a little bit more patience from both teams. They might have a little bit more success.
Woskowski looking for Howard. Cleared out of harm's way. Adamstown hoping to get the throw, and that's what they will get. They're working their way out of their own half. Here's infield. They'll go out right now, and a chance to slip it through when that pass was the right idea. Just a little bit too much speed on it, and Sneddon, good to see her back on her feet. Target in behind. It'll be a tough one to chase down. Sneddon gets another touch consecutive minutes. Now it's the Buds with a chance to break. Jones, she's the target in behind, as has been all season. Coming across is Evans. Jones looking to free the feed, and Evans, again, such a physical defender, wins that battle. But Tara, that's one to keep an eye on throughout the match.
It is, and I don't know if that was Evans that just got that ball. I think she's a little bit further over. It's hard to see on the screen, but I think they're going to keep looking for that. Tanya Jones in behind. Obviously, she just couldn't quite get past the defender there to try and get that shot away, but they'll keep looking for that ball in behind and see if she can get a little bit more success there.
Tanya Jones, 6 goals to her name this season. Mary Netzwang, the only Adamstown player ahead of her with 7. Ash Vedder as well, who's on the bench this evening with 2 goals to her name. She scored in this reverse fixture back at Darling Street Oval in round 6. As it's Adamstown now looking to sense an opportunity going forward. Morgan. Dink over the top, and Cook just couldn't get under control. Aquilino in a hurry to get things going. Denelli up against Laurie, but Laurie wins out. So crucial for Adamstown this season is Sophia Laurie. Now Sneddon looking to ping one out to her left fullback. Battle there in the middle of the park. Who can break the line? Space here out left. Denelli would shake. Back to Boskowski. Boskowski puts one high into the air. Sneddon decides to come. Is there a chance for Olympic? And there is. It's found its way in the back of the net. Sneddon not able to gather. And I think the goal will go down to Boskowski there. Great work from Olympics left fullback.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Maddie Howard might have got the touch right at the end there to get that one in. But Sten's just come out a little bit too far, maybe misjudged the flight of the ball there, overrun it, and obviously dropped that one. And then, yeah, I think Maddie Howard potentially could have got the tap in at the end, but yeah, what a goal to start this game off. Well, advantage Olympic. Haven't scored in their last 2 matches, so that's a huge boost for them, and they do lead this one 1-0 in Adamstown. That streak continues. They've conceded first in every game this season, and it's Olympic straight back on the front foot. McDonald looking to use the width out right. Yeah,
Kate Heap.
I think that's got to be a really frustrating start for Adamstown to just concede that goal. I think, they weren't playing poorly, and just to concede that one right when they're sort of in the game is a pretty tough one to take, so they'll be trying to get back into this game pretty quickly.
So Adamstown now working their way out. This Olympic press, so both sides have shown a lot of urgency in their press. Now it's Hogg trying to win out, but no one goes the way of the Buds. Adamstown 4 draws this season, including two all draws. One of them coming at this exact venue. They've played a lot of their football here at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility, so that certainly could come into the occasion tonight. They are to find a way back into this one. Played a lot of teams on this exact ground, though as I mentioned pre-match, haven't exactly had the best record when facing the blue and white. Here's Netzwang. Field to Jones. That battle with Evans is one to watch throughout the evening. Netzwang, she'll continue though. Looking to chase this one in behind, but Aquilina can gather. No, Adamstown can come from behind. They've shown that in games this season.
Yeah, I think we've seen from Adamstown as well, they don't stop playing their style of football. They won't stop running and they won't stop playing. So I think, if they can stay in this game and sort of wear Olympic down a little bit, anything can obviously happen later in this first half. And then if they continue on in the second half, I'm sure they'll get a goal.
Well, we had drama at Darling Street last time. 2 sides met, as I mentioned, and certainly can't count Adamstown out. Give Adamstown maybe another 5 or 10 in that game. They could have won and snatched something. Here's Howard being chased in behind, but that touch a little bit too heavy from Walmsley.
And it's interesting looking at the table too. Obviously, Rosebuds are sitting in 6th position and they're on 6 points. When I look back at some of their games, it just feels like they should be on more than 6 points. They've been in a lot of the games and might have lost by 1 goal, but they're playing some really good football, and I think, they deserve a little bit more than 6 points on the table. So, yeah, hope for their sake they get a bit more success tonight and
Yeah.
get some points.
It's crazy to think when you look at that ladder and they are only on 6 points, because despite their defeats this season, they haven't been too heavy, to be honest. Like the games that they have lost have been by 1 or 2 of the margin. So they're certainly showing improvements, but at this time of the season, you sense results are the key thing. As you mentioned there, Tara, they sit 6 points, 4 shy of 5th place Newcastle Olympic. So tonight's game is so crucial as it is. There's Laurie now in field. She shouts for a handball. Play will continue. Net swing in a paddle. Wants a free kick, but now the Buds' turn to go forward. Heap, though, picks it off well. Kate Heap has Howard in behind. Again, the last pass. Is it too heavy? That one, a similar situation there to Howard and Sneddon in the first half this time. Sneddon didn't get cleaned up. Now Walmsley in field, and Copus was making the run forward. Touch a little bit too heavy. Adamstown going to have to be wary of the threat. Now Adamstown will go long for one of the first times this evening they've actually tried to play over the top. Jones unable to get on the end of it. Now it's Netswang trying to lead the press. Olympic. They'll look centrally for the run of Howard. Howard. Sneddon's out of her area. There's a chance here for Olympic. Saved initially, but on the follow-up, Howard grabs her 3rd of the season. Olympic make it 2. And just like that, both sides haven't had too much of the ball, but Howard delivers and extends Olympic's lead.
Yeah, and that really came out of nothing. I think, you know, Maddie Howard just chased down that ball there, got in behind the defender, and, you know, nice and calm and the first strike she had. Goal. Obviously, you know, Sneddon was good enough to try and block, but nice and composed for that second strike, and there we go, it's 2-0.
Like you mentioned, out of absolutely nowhere, the Newcastle Olympic 2 to the good. We always knew last week was going to be a tough test against ladder leaders Maitland, but it's not a case of they've been dominant, but they've just played in behind and taken their chances when they have come. And here they are again. McDonald. Lovely ball across the face of goal, and the shot taken and into the hands of Olivia Sneddon. We're going to get a move on here for the Buds. Jones, the target in behind. Such a threat in the air. Jones' final touch. A little bit too heavy, and Aquilina can claim.
Yeah, and she's just that little bit too isolated at the moment, obviously making those runs forward and not having a whole lot of support in behind her yet. I think Adamstown need to try and push up support a little bit quicker.
Here's a turnover by Olympic and Adamstown. What can they conjure up? Morgan dispossessed, and it sends a run outright. Lovely footwork there. Now Olympic shifting the ball nicely. Boskowski has Donnelly out left. Cuts inside. Just can't conjure up anything, but it's still alive. Here's Rosie Copus looking to slip it through. Lovely ball. Out left, Boskowski sends this one in the air. Can't beat the first defender, still alive though. Coming forward, and a shot taken, had some power behind it. It's not enough to trouble Olivia Sneddon.
Yeah, and it seems like Olympic now, you know, they've got those 2 goals, a little bit calmer on the ball, they're getting a little bit more momentum now. So I think Adamstown need to try and break that and get back into this game.
Sense they might need to get one before the break if they are to get back into this one. Sneddon deciding to go long with this goal kick. The net swing to win the initial header. Jones back to net swing. Will shift it all the way out right. Georgia Cook into net swing. She's probably the creative player in this Adamstown side. Oh, look at the footwork. Now they'll go out left, the Buds, with runners going on forward. McFadden the target, that one might just roll. The Olympics still want to play their football. That's the thing, they're keeping the ball going even when Aquilina's had it in her hands. They've looked to keep the ball in play at every opportunity, and they're shifting it nicely to start this one. Here is Isabella Aquilina. Dumping it forward, which Laurie wins the first header. Chance in behind, but intercepted well. Here's Heap. Essentially to Rosie Copus. Sent out wide to Garn. Adamstown all the way back through Snedden. The Buds yet to keep a clean sheet this season. That streak as well continues. 2-0 down. Buds searching for a breakthrough. That's good one-touch football. Again, the final ball in behind. Not the right one though, so Adamstown just struggling to be clinical going forward. That one sent forward. One well, and now McFadden. Out left, it's trapped in this far left-hand corner. Little flick on him behind, not a bad idea. Bit of cagey deep into Adamstown attacking territory, but it's Olympic that will win the throw and look to settle down the game a little bit. It's been quite cagey.
It has. It's going between both teams here. I don't think anyone can get some really solid sort of possession and try and kind of get that momentum. It's gone between both teams and not keeping a whole possession. Not really good football at the moment.
Maybe adapting to the synthetic. Here's Jones on the turn. We know she scored a screamer a couple of weeks back against Charlestown in this sort of territory. Netspring, he's been central to everything of Adamstown going forward. Touch a little bit too heavy there and dispossessed, and Boskowski wins a free kick for the visitors.
Yeah, and you talk about this pitch. Obviously it got relayed earlier this year, I think it was. It's very different to what it used to be. It feels like carpet under your feet. It's really spongy, and the ball actually bounces, a bit weirdly. It doesn't really bounce probably as you'd expect on a normal grass pitch or a normal synthetic. So it's a little bit different. It does take a bit to get used to, but it's definitely better on my joints as an older player now. So I do appreciate that.
Certainly adapting to the way Olympic want to play as well. It's another careless giveaway and a chance for Olympic. Copa slips it through. McGann's first time shot. A crucial save for Snedden. She'll pick it up on the rebounds as well with a little touch in between. But again, Adamstown value themselves so much on keeping the ball. Just struggling to play out from the back. Pinched off again by Olympic. McGann tried to look central for McDonald, but Netswain can open up the play outright. Laurie in field. Cook with the footwork. She goes to ground. Nothing given by the referee, and play will continue. McGann just couldn't get that one under control. You can hear both coaches quite vocal on the touchline.
Yeah, and you can see that Adamstown they're still trying to go through the middle. Georgia Cook obviously made a run inside there, and they didn't really have a lot of width outside of Laurie, which I think, they're playing some good football in patches, but they just, I think, need to look to get it wide a little bit earlier, spread the ball, and then try to go back in the middle.
A few runners in behind here. That one left for Jones. Clever that.
Yeah, same thing again there with Laurie. She didn't have anyone outside her, and she was quite central. So if they can try and stretch the pitch a little bit more, it might open those gaps up a little bit more inside that they can play.
Well, Olympic have conceded 32 goals this season, so you sense there might be an opportunity for the Buds maybe in the second half to potentially turn things around and produce what would be an epic comeback and what would be their first win against Newcastle Olympic, although 32 of those goals Olympic have conceded this season, 14 have been against Maitland, so pretty careless. Another giveaway here. Olympic A chance for free across the face of goal, and Howard, all she had to do was tap that one in. It was put to her right in front of where she would have wanted. That's a chance brewing there for Olympic.
Oh, it is, and I'm sure she'd want to take that chance again. Obviously had to tap it in. Coming across goal there, she's tried to use the left foot, and it's just sort of skimmed on the side of her foot. And just missed the goal. But I mean, look, I think she's already hit 2 of them in. I think she got that tap in at the start, so yeah, I'm sure it would have been nice for her to get a hat-trick in the first half, but I'm sure she'll get some more opportunities in this game.
Olympic, though, they are turning up the pressure. An offside flag is raised here, but seeming to have the better of the chances when they go forward. And as the result stands, they would go ahead of Broadmeadow Magic. Side they lost 5-0 a couple of weeks ago at Magic Park. Magic, as I said, in action against the ladder leaders, Maitland, this coming Wednesday. You said, Tara, that ladder so congested, and it's that sort of patch of the season now where results are crucial, especially for a side like Adamstown, who, although have lost games this season, there's also been signs of progression. As a free kick here going the way of Newcastle Olympic. So they'll send a few players into the mix. Not too many white jumpers in there for Olympic. Boskovsky making a late dart to the back post. This free kick, or a shot then across. That out of play.
I think Maddie Howard was trying to score that one just because she missed that that little tap in. Thought she'd have a go. It was a little bit far out.
Certainly know which one was the easier. So he's netting again to thump this one forward. Adamstown looking for something before the break. It's Olympic now, trying to create more signs of attack going forward. I don't know, I'm happy to keep possession in their half. Now the press is being urged on by Olympic, but net swing's done well to play out of it. Now Jones again was the target in behind, but Olympic have pinched off. Going on a run here is Wormsley. Has McGann to her right, decides to go to Copus. Koskowski now. She'll thump this one into the mix, and the offside flag is raised. Rosie Copus was there on the edge to potentially create something, but the flag being raised, and Adamstown really need to start to get their foot in the game before the break. You could say it should be 3-0 to the way of the visitors now. Jones drops it out right. Again, that final pass in behind just lacking a little bit.
Yeah, I think Adamstown are probably, they're normally playing some really good football and trying to keep the ball, not go long too often, try and play through teams. They're probably not finding their pass quite as much today as they have in the past. Maybe Olympic are putting a little bit more pressure on them to obviously stop them doing that, but I think Martin Slade, at half-time wants to talk to his team. It'll be about just trying to go back to the basics for them and what they're good at. They're good at playing through lines, 1-2 touch football. They can get back to that and try and play through those lines. They might just have a little bit more going forward.
Certainly might need something before the break, otherwise it will be a half-time talk from Martin Slade. And like I did say pre-match, they don't mind having to come from behind, but 2-0, it's a scary scoreline in football. They were down 2-0 at the break in this reverse fixture at Darling Street Oval, and as we said, probably could have snatched a point there at the death. But here they go, first set piece of the evening. They're generally quite good from set pieces. There are a few tour plays in there. Tanya Jones most notably, who's starting a run quite deep. As they'll now make their run in. It's not a bad delivery. This one might go over the lot. Now Olympic can thump things out of way. Howard, her press does really well to stop Adamstown from getting the ball back on the front foot. Earns her side of throw and she's being wanted forward again here. Time and space. Maddie Howard. Now it's a lovely turn from McDonald. Had McGunn out left, it goes back to Boskowski, who switches the play all the way outright. Relfo out to Kate Heap. Eventually now Olympic want a free kick. A few challenges flying in. Olympic end up with the ball. They'll go all the way back to Aquilina. Olympic just happy to have the ball in this part of the field. Adamstown not applying the usual pressure that we usually see. Skowski's pass doesn't reach its intended target. Now the Bards' chance for them to move the football, and again picked off.
Yeah, and I wonder, obviously, it was the Rosebuds who did have the bye last weekend, so maybe, I know in this competition there's weeks where, you know, we've got wet weather rounds, we've got byes, and if you have back-to-back weeks of that, you know, you don't play for 2 weeks, and then this weekend.
Here we go, and chance in behind. I think it was Copus Brown making the run in behind. Sorry, Tara.
All good. Yeah, so like there's times where people can not play for 2 or 3 weeks and sort of lose that momentum. So, you know, maybe Adamstown had the bye last week. They lost a little bit of momentum.
Chance for the Buds in that final pass again, just lacking that little bit. Sorry for a second time there, Tara.
Down one end and up the other, isn't it? Exciting stuff now. We've had 2 sort of, you know, little opportunities for either team.
Adamstown with a late surge in this first half. Netzwang. Looking field to Jones, and the return pass looking to send Cook down the line, but just a bit too much behind it. Another long throw. Cut off by McFadden. Cook's touch is only as far as Jess Evans, who is going to go back to Aquilina. Decides to put this one up the line for McGahn. She tries to play in field, but Netzwang, she's there to pick it off. Surrounded by white jumpers, Netzwang. Trying to use that clever footwork, and her and Copus Brown have gone to ground. We'll continue now through Horgan, who lines up this strike and fancies herself from range. But Aquilina, safe hands, calmly into the arms of Olympic shot stopper.
And Evie Horgan can hit those. I think that exact spot against Newhampton a couple of weeks ago, she scored from there. So she's definitely capable of hitting him from that distance.
Netzwang, clever pass, looking down left. And Kate Heap again tracking back, doing so well. Aquilina the thump forward. In Olympic here, they've loved to use this width out here left. McCann looks to have switched sides, to come out to a more left wing position. Aaron Boskowski caught high here, but they've pinched it off. Howard had a few options centrally, but loses out to Jones. Now it's Netzwang. As Jones in field, goes to Tanya Jones. It's been quiet, you could say, for her standards to start this one, Tara.
Yeah, she has, and I think just on that break there, Enswang, she got the ball and it seemed like they just went in slow-mo, like they've beaten that midfield block of Olympic, or that won the ball back, and they're just doing it a little bit too slow.
We see here a shot taken and Sneddon into her arms.
Yeah, I'd like to see Adamstown, when they do win that ball in those positions, you know, in the final third nearly, if Enswing can really put the foot on the gas, try and run at the back 4, and you've got Tanya Jones and, you know, making little slip runs in behind. I think they'd get a little bit more success by doing that, but Tanya Jones has just got a yellow card.
Just to add to Adamstown's first half struggles. Yeah, spot on there, Tara. Yellow card awarded to Tanya Jones, maybe wanting a free kick up the other end moments before Olympic went on the break. Obviously not too sure what it is, but she'll have to walk a tightrope for the rest of this one, Tanya Jones. It's been frustrating for the Buzz in general in this first half, so Jones the first one to go in the book. Olympic that are really controlling this one here. Round 13 of the NPL Women's. I said earlier, multiple games washed out this weekend, but lucky to have the facilities we do here at Lake Macquarie. It's a perfect night for it, in all honesty. No rain around for today as Evans looks to thump it forward. Cook picks it off. Cook now has McFadden and net swing. It goes to net swing. Olympic trying to get bodies behind the ball. Net swing. Faden to Horgan. Clever footwork from Evie Horgan, and Jess Evans there, tight as anything to Tanya Jones, not giving her too much space on the ball. Jacob Jones, the assistant for Newcastle Olympic tonight, has had to say he'll be pleased with that first half so far. Tara, as Howard will let this play out. What's impressed you most about Olympic in this first half?
Yeah, look, obviously coming off the back of two pretty heavy losses, I think they probably had something to prove in this game. They've actually had, 3 or 4 chances in this game. They've controlled sort of the second half of this first half, so looking a lot more confident in their football. So it'll be a really good response that obviously Jacob Jones was wanting from the team and what he's gotten.
Here's a chance for the Buds. Played out right, McFadden. Her first turn, ball inside to Jones. And it rattles the crossbar. Chance there, probably the best of the half for the Buds. That was the Adamstown we know football they can play.
That's right, and a little bit more pace. Obviously the passes are on target. Little one touch into Tanya Jones there, and a left footer just to hit the crossbar.
They've played this one short. Hogg. Will she look to strike from distance? It's worth an effort. Didn't have enough though to trouble Aquilina, but that's probably a sequence and a patch of play there from Adamstown that was probably the most dangerous of the half. So Tanya Jones, she's been in nearly everything this evening, as well as her opposite striker in Maddie Howard. But despite that sniff, it's Olympic up the other end. Sneddon though out to claim.
Yeah, when you get those types of chances too, I'd love to see Adamstown just put a little bit more pressure on the goal kick of Olympic. You've just had a really good chance putting them under pressure, and they got out really easily, Olympic, on that last play.
Here's net swing looking to work her magic, goes to ground following a strong challenge there from, I think it was Isabella Threlfo. Woskowski thumps it forward. She looks to send Olympic well over halfway, and talking about halfway, maybe a Sneddon near the halfway line for the Bud. She'll retreat back to her goals now. And it's Laurie with the clever footwork and nearly picked off there by Boskowski. But Adamstown now, can they create something before the break? Net swing, picking it up centrally, releasing out left. Jones is the running behind. She'll pick it up here, being chased down by Threlfo. Happy to recycle all the way back, but the offside flag is up, and I'm not going to get too frustrated because it's not as bad as how it was at Darling Street Oval. It's probably one of the first or second times of the night it has happened.
Yeah, I think some more promising signs there with Enswing picking it up in the middle of the park. You're beyond the midfielders of Olympic. So if she can keep getting in those positions and sort of, spraying the ball left and right and to those forward runs of Tanya Jones, I think Adamstown will be looking a lot better.
Shapes up for a big second half, although Olympic are looking to add another. Sneddon out of her box. Does well to get a crucial touch. Here's Rosie Copus. Surrounded by Adamstown jumpers, and Netswang's the one that picks it off. But again, Olympic dangerous in behind. Here's Kate Heaps centrally to Rosie Copus. Who's been quite creative to start this one. Rolfo happy to go all the way back to Aquilina, who's seen plenty of the ball in this first 45. You'd assume not too much stoppage time will be added on. Counting down the seconds now. Adamstown, do they have something to give? And Swain looks in field for McFadden, but it's picked off by Sophie Wormsley, and she's looking to start a counter attack. And look at the speed here, incredible. Chance here for Olympic before the break, but that one goes out. Well trucked back by the Adamstown defence, and we'll have a corner, which could be the last opportunity of this half. So Olympic jumpers in the box. This one delivered into a dangerous area and a flick on there. I think the last touch did come off a Bud's corner player, so another corner the way of Olympic. So Newcastle Olympic to finish this half, and they'd love to add a third right now. Would cap off what's been an impressive first half by them. So similar position, delivery is though clear by Jones. Boskowski winning the first header. Rosie Kopis back for Boskowski. Now the Buds turn to go up the other end. How longer remains in this first half? It's a strong challenge coming across. Isabella Threlfo. She's been in the mix of everything alongside Jess Evans tonight. In this sense, that is the reason why they are winning this game. So Newcastle Olympic 2, Adamstown Rosebuds 0 heading into half time. It's the Buds again, Tara, that have conceded first in every game this season, but I'm sure that won't be the message in the second half. How do you see Adamstown finding a way back into this one?
Yeah, I think I saw glimpses of it sort of right towards the end of that first half. You know, Marianne Swing getting in those positions. Can she play some forward passes into Tanya Jones or spread it wide as well? So a little bit more success that they got. I think if they can keep bringing that in the second half and start to keep playing through and play their football, we might see change in them. But I think Olympic have sort of controlled, you know, most of this first half and obviously had the majority of the chances, and they've obviously taken them and, you know, deservedly up sort of 2-0 going into the half.
Well, we'll take a short break here. Remember, you can catch every game across the women's and men's competition live and free on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel. So at the break, it's Newcastle Olympic 2, Adamstown Rosebuds 0.
Oh, you're so squishy. I love you.
It's a big responsibility.
Yes, you are big.
Your heart and your head don't always agree.
Ah, like Hayes, good deal. Boring, yes.
I love it.
Let's make an offer. Oh, let's think this through.
But there's one thing they can agree on. With local expertise, great rates, plus a highly rated app, Newcastle Permanent is good for your head and good for your heart.
responsibility.
Yes, you are big.
Your heart and your head don't always agree.
Ah, like Hayes, good deal. Boring, yes.
I love it.
Let's make an offer. Oh, let's think this through.
But there's one thing they can agree on. With local expertise, great rates, plus a highly rated app, Newcastle Permanent is good for your head and good for your heart.
I don't know if I'm over there now. I need to do a piss though.
Well, welcome back to Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. It was the first half of not too many chances, but it was Newcastle Olympic who took them and resumed the second half ahead 2-0 on the scoreboard. And Tara, we knew the importance of this game for both sides. With 45 to come, how do Adamstown try and work their way back into this one?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, they're probably not playing the football that they usually play, you know, trying to play through teams 1-2 touch. You know, they're losing a little bit of ball, so I think they can get back to that. A little bit more composure, try and play through Olympic, get Marianne swing in some really good positions. They might be able to get back into this game.
The substitutions that we are aware of at the break. Adamstown straight away onto the front foot. The hands of Aquilina, who's seen a lot of the ball in that first 45. The back two as well for Olympic. Rock solid. They knew heading into this one they would have had their hands full with Tanya Jones, but it's fair to say that Evans and Threlfo, as well as the team in general, have kept majority of Adamstown's key players out of the game. We know Netswang is that one who I think Adamstown will rely on massively if they are a chance to work their way back into this game. See Kate Heap taking this throw in for Newcastle Olympic. This win would be massive to them, only their 4th win of the season. Shall they hold on to this advantage? Now a little mistake capitalised on here by the Buds. Will be Mia Cook into net swing, but Evans comes across. Almost fought. Men's game is kicked off between these two teams, Adamstown and Newcastle Olympic. Adamstown prevailing in the first grade game 2-0. Here's Laurie picking off the pass and going on a run, trying to spark an attack forward here for the Rosebuds. Jones, there was options forward there, she just couldn't get control.
Yeah, and just again, I think McFadden, you know, she's got an option wide here with Mia Cook, and she tries to play that inside ball, which they've just been playing a little bit too much. If they can get it wide a little bit earlier to then create that space, it could be a bit better off.
Adamstown now worked out of that nicely. There is space out left here through Mia Cook if they can find it out left. Jones as well making a run in behind. Right idea, but again picked off. Jess Evans being so crucial in this one. As soon as I say that, the commentator's curse comes into play. Now there's runs both hands side, but he decides to send it out left. Howard making the dart in behind. Sneddon comes out. Howard could have got the final touch, and she's clattered Sneddon in the process. Decides to tap that one into the back of the net. She had a few chances in that first half, but Olivia Sneddon again alert to the danger.
Yeah, that was a really good run there by Howard, just in behind the defender. Just a little bit too far, obviously, for Sneddon to pick that one up.
Been crucial this year, Olivia Sneddon. Between the sticks for the Buds. Just talking of Martin Slade's side, there are options on the bench. We mentioned it off air, but Ash Vetter, probably one of the more attacking sparks on this bench for the Rosebud side. The experienced Jenna Doyle's there as well. Certainly options to turn to if required. Probably say the same about the visitors Olympic as well, the likes of Bouldery and Kalkouli. Only to name a few. Fair to say though, Jacob Jones will be massively impressed with the scoreline at the minute. Both teams work their way slowly into this second half. Here's Rosie Copus. Battling hard here in front of the Olympic dugout. Jones now will go centrally, try and open up a bit of space. Morgan looking in field, but Jess Evans picks it off. Out Sophie McDonald, back to Threlfo, who looks long and over the top. Olympic happy to keep the ball for now, though, opening up the space out left. Boskowski, who was super busy in that first half. Now Evans thumping it forward to Howard. She gets the initial touch and then has to chase it down up against Laurie, who sends her the wrong way. Now Adamstown, can they find options in behind? It's Tanya Jones making the run. Jones, she has options at the back stick. Will Jones go herself, and the shot deflected on the first attempt. Still alive, and a shot taken ambitious. Adamstown starting to shoot from distance, but they're starting to go slowly into this one. Here's Sarah Knowles. All the way back and pinched off. You can hear that urgency from the Olympic bench. Their press has been spot on to start this one. Throw goes away the buds though, which is quickly taken into Kate Heap. Heap in field to Ava McGann. Played a massive part in Newcastle Olympics reserve grade grand final win last year. Got more minutes in first grade under her belt this season. They've got a free kick here in what you could say is quite a promising position.
Yeah, dangerous area. I think Maddie Howard's standing over this one, left footer. She can whip that one in. I dare say she might take the shot from this angle. She has got a vicious strike on her, so she could probably hit one from this range and hit the top corner. So good opportunity.
It'll be the left foot of Howard. Certainly looks like she is shaping for a shot, but you never know. There's plenty of white jumpers in there. She needs to pick them out. 3 in the wall for Adamstown. Howard goes herself, and this one was deep to the back stick. Just didn't have enough to trouble the Adamstown defence, and as this half grows on, you sense they'll start to show more signs of urgency. They'll look to play out from the back here, and pinched off well. Battle here deep into the half. You can see Olympic bench on their feet, and a mistake invites Howard forward. She gets clipped there in the process, and Adamstown now looking to spark an attack forward, and they'll get a free kick just shy of the halfway line. Hayden looking to get things going straight away to Knowles. Knowles back centrally. Olympic very compact without the ball. Jones being marked tightly in this one. She gets a pass away though. Here's Netswang to work her magic. Things just haven't come off for her and the Rosebuds tonight, Tara.
Yeah, I think, she's really good with the ball at her feet, and obviously I think you need to keep passing her the ball, but sometimes there's chances just for Adamstown just to keep the ball moving. If she laid it off there, maybe they could get the ball wide. They just need to move Olympic around a little bit more in that front third, keep the ball moving, and let those gaps open up, like I said earlier.
It's a lovely ball played over the top. Cut back to the edge of the box, and a shot taken. The right idea, Olympic look to use the width to their advantage early into this second half. About this time in the round 6 clash, where Gemma House, who's missing tonight, added a third for Olympic to put them ahead 3-0, that game ending 3-2 the way of Newcastle Olympic. So especially as commentators, we love to see Adamstown make a game of this and pull something back. We know it'll mean a lot to them on the ladder as well, but here they are trying to work their way from the back. Picked off, but Knowles is able to drive forward. Netswang pinches it off her and immediately looks forward, and I think Jones may have got a little touch there to force that one going out of play.
Yeah, I think it's the right idea though. They need to get the ball wide, and Netswang can obviously see that. I think, especially when Ash Vedder comes on the field, a very quick winger, they need to try and use that to their advantage. So they want to try and find those balls out wide.
Olympic now. The Adamstown press has prevailed that time. Since, there's so many turning points in a game, but you mentioned it there in the first half, Tara, the fact that when they had a close chance on target and then they weren't able to back it up with the press, and they're probably the key moments that probably lift as a side. Just looking for someone to take the game big impact for this Adamstown side. Laurie is going to throw it down the line, decides to go in field. Lovely dummy there by Laurie. Now it goes in field. Netswing is pretty crowded there, and Netswing, she wins out well, decides to take a strike and into the hands of Aquilina, who you cannot fold in this one. Has been incredible for this Olympic side. Well done there to Kate Heap for keeping the ball in play. Adamstown trying to press as one, but they've lost out now. Space out left for McGann. Has Howard on the edge of the box. Few Olympic jumpers coming forward. McGann. Howard, her first touch, forces her backwards. Adamstown bodies behind the ball, although that should be offside, and it's held by the shot there by McGann that she was. So Adamstown, their 4th game on Lake Macquarie football facility this year, and it's safe to say they've had mixed results when being here on this surface. You mentioned it pre-match, Tara, that it's sort of changed in the way the surface is playing this year, but I mean, heading into this one, if anyone's the more favourable on this surface, it is the Buds, and here's Jones against Jess Evans, and chance still alive here for the Buds. Netswing battling hard down the right. Big jumpers getting behind the ball. Next swing being forced out wide. Now she does well to ride the challenge of 2, and I think she might have even wanted a free kick there. Nothing given.
Yeah, I think in terms of this field, a lot of teams actually train on the field probably at least once a week. I know obviously New Lambton, we do. You know, Magic are on the field next to us when we're there. I think Olympic, have a session, and obviously Adamstown. So most teams in this competition do get to train on this pitch and get to practice just the way that it rolls, so and get a little bit more used to it. So it's probably not a massive advantage for Adamstown, as much as it might have been in previous years.
Now a chance here for Olympic. I think this might be offside. We'll play on for now, and across the face of goal. Shot goes wide of the post. I thought it may have been left there for Kate Heap to exploit him behind, but the offside flag stayed down, and that was a chance that goes begging for Olympic.
It was a tight angle there, and I think using her right foot, if she maybe just opened up onto her left foot, she might have had a little bit more of a goal to aim at and curl it into that far post.
We saw moments before Ash Vetter being prepared on the touchline for the Buds when she'll be introduced. We will find out shortly. Certainly the player that could change this game in what is a crucial match for the Buds. Here they go now, net swing. Will she look for Jonesy behind? She will. Jones quite isolated up top, running at Threlfo. She'll have to do it all herself, but we know she can shoot from range. That one though, a little bit too high, but she scored a similar goal against Broadmeadow Magic a couple of weeks back, where she used right-hand side and fancied her chances from distance.
Yeah, probably felt a little bit isolated there, probably wasn't getting the support as quick as she needed, and probably, thought that could have been her only option in the end to take a shot. And as a striker, sometimes that's what you have to do, and hope that you might obviously get it on target or make it difficult for the goalkeeper.
Don't shoot, you don't score is the saying, and another chance there presented for Jones. Now they'll shift it out wide. A lovely dummy fooling Laurie, and now the ball in behind. It's a lovely pass for Howard. Then and again, alert to the situation as ever. That's Sophie Wormsley. Howard in field, just couldn't get the ball under control. Now Laurie trying to keep this one in play. She thumps it up the line, does well to keep it in. Aquilina has to put this one long. We'll get the first touch. McFadden sure would have loved to get this one, but Adamstown on the front foot. Here's Horgan. Not too many options, so she'll have to go herself. Gets inside of a few white jumpers, but Can't ride that last challenge to fancy across. Now Laurie looking long, the last touch off a white jumper, so it'll be Adamstown's first set piece of the second half, early into the second stanza. We'll await that substitution as well. Now it's all eyes on this set piece.
I think the last corner that they had, Tanya Jones started to run very deep, but she got in there too early, so I hope she times this one.
Ball all the way to the back stick. Jones is making a dart at the back. Can't get it under control though in Olympic, as they have all night. They've cleared the danger when it's come their way. Now it's a foot race here on the touchline, and I think that might have gone out, but stayed in play. Now you can see Olympics line starting to step up quite high, nearly near that halfway line. Adamstown looking to exploit in behind. Miss Cook, to Horgan. Next one looking to work the feet. Jones offloads to McFadden. Now her pass, trying to look for Knowles. Under hit though, and a counter attack potentially looming here for Olympic. Zooming forward, an early ball into the box. It'll fall onto the edge, and a shot is taken, and that one a little bit too high. But again, another example of how quickly this Olympic side can hit on the break, Tara.
Yeah, that's right, and I think it's the right idea from Adamstown, right? They're trying to spread it wide, but it's just that pass from McFadden. Maybe the fullback could hold their run a little bit longer, so the ball can sort of go backwards and not be intercepted. But yeah, very quick break from Olympic, and that's obviously what they're very good at. And yeah, that shot in the end a little bit too high, but some good signs still from Olympic here.
Both sides looking to go to their bench now, so double substitution for Olympic. Looks like only the one for the Buds. Maybe the Buds will hold off for now, actually. So it'll be Cal Cooley and Kalia Bouldery to enter the field. Both players that have been in and out of the starting side this season. Fresh legs for this Olympic side nonetheless. Here's Laurie up the end for the Buds, slipping through the Jones, but she'll leave it out wide for Cook. Cook cutting in and taking a stride on her left foot. And it's incredible. An incredible strike to work Adamstown back into this game. We know they aren't scared of a late dramatic finish, and although we are early into this second half, that is the goal they needed, Tara.
That's right. What a strike there from Georgia Cook. Left foot cut inside and just got that in the far post over Aquilina's head. So I think that that might be enough just to get Adamstown back in this game. And now, if they can keep the pressure on, we could see another goal.
This game's starting to open up a little bit now. Georgia Cook, though, from a tight angle as well on the left foot. And now it's the Buds who have flipped this game on its head. I believe that's Cook's first of the season as well, so couldn't have come at a more crucial time. And Olympic, despite making those two substitutions, are being put under the pump here in Adamstown. Can they salvage their first ever win against Newcastle Olympic in the competition history?
I think we've seen it before in this competition. It's about who takes their chances. So, you know, Adamstown have just taken that chance. They've brought it back to 2-1, and you know, the rest of the game, it depends just who's more clinical, whether they hold out at 2-1 or if they get more opportunities and can take them.
We said it towards the back end of the first half that 2-0 is such a scary scoreline in football from an Olympic perspective. Jones goes to ground. They're deep into attacking territory. Adamstown players having a say, but Aquilina will make her way to take the goal kick. A bit of words exchanged. I think Tanya Jones has to be quite careful of what she does in the remaining part of this game. Currently on a yellow card due to what we think may have been dissent in the first half.
She's a very passionate player, very competitive, so she gets into the game and wants to win and goes into battle hard.
It's been incredible this season thus far for the Buds. Adamstown starting to control this game a little bit more like we know they can. Interesting to see what that halftime talk would have been like. Olympic did have chances early into this first half, but Adamstown slowly working their way in the game. Here's the goal scorer, Cook. In a battle with the substitute Bouldery, who wins out, sends it all the way out here, but again picked off. Knowles with the first touch, and now Mia Cook invited forward. Out left. Knowles, she rides the first challenge. Sarah Knowles slipping it through. I'm not sure McFadden was aware, but it won't matter too much because Adamstown have yet another corner. They're starting to turn things up to another notch.
This is where Adamstown need to keep the pressure on. You know, if they get this corner, can they keep the ball up this end of the field, whether it, you know, it goes out for a goal kick, whether it's a break, if they can try and keep the ball up this end.
Starting her run deep with Jones, but she couldn't get her head onto it. It'll fall. Laurie rides a couple challenges. Net swing, we know she can work her magic in the box. Still alive. Jones looking to salvage a strike. I'm not sure it was Jones in the end there, but Adamstown chaos there in the box. They're still looking to get on the front foot. Olympic having to survive this surge of attack by the Buds. Played over the top. Relfo happy to send that one out for a throw-in. Plenty of options in the mix for Adamstown. Jones, the target, brings it under control. Netswang working her magic, getting to the byline. Netswang rides a challenger one. Her left-footed strike finds its way in. Adamstown, they are back on level terms. Mary Netswang, a bow.
And there we go, another left-footed strike and swing with those magical feet, twisting and turning, left-footed into the far post. And that's what it does. Adamstown kept the pressure on. They kept the ball up that end of the field. A little bit scrappy in a few areas, but if you keep the pressure on, those chances will open up, and it did for Mary Netswang just then.
Takes her to 8 goals for the season. 9 short of Tara Andrews alongside me. Bit of competition this year as well with Renee Pountney as well, chasing you down.
Yeah, I think I've got a few people chasing me. Gotta watch my back.
Nonetheless, though, Netswang with a bit of magic. A similar goal to that one that sealed the 3 points at Adamstown Oval against Broadmeadow earlier in the campaign. That tricky footwork in around the box. And Adamstown, we've got a game on our hands now. It's another shot taken from range. This is the football we like as we got an injury.
Yeah, and I think now Adamstown they're getting a bit more momentum, a bit more ball. They're getting it more aggressive, winning the ball high, and then getting into those areas where they can take those strikes.
You mentioned, despite that first half performance, we've got a few substitutions now. Jenna Doyle has been thrown into the frame for Nick Faden, I believe. So maybe Jenna Doyle playing more of a midfield role, Tara. I know she's predominantly a centre back, but has also played some of that deeper lying midfield role before.
Yeah, I think obviously a very experienced centre back, so whether they sort of put her into that 6 role and push a few other players a little bit higher.
The team talk going on amongst the Buds, likewise with Newcastle Olympic as well. At Adamstown, we talk about the box office jets. You can also say that Adamstown have produced quite incredible second halves. It's safe to say that their first halves are probably short of what they would have expected, but when they want to chase a game, they can make a game of it.
That's right, and they're a team that never give up, and you can't count them out. So obviously, you know, after that half-time, they regrouped, put some pressure on Olympic and got those 2 goals back, and now we're in a really good position to see some pretty exciting football. Olympic will have to push a little bit harder now to obviously get those 3 points. Or the game might open up a little bit more.
Certainly might. There's multiple positives to take from both camps. regardless of what the full-time score ends up. Adamstown chasing their second win of the season. Olympic likewise looking to make it 4 wins for the season tonight. Newcastle Olympic as well. Quite a bit of a buffer on Adamstown. If they do win this one, they'll jump 7 points clear of the Rosebuds. I don't think neither side will be happy with a draw at this rate, Tara. It's all in the balance.
I think both teams desperately need 3 points, so they'll both throw everything at this game now.
Laurie looking to work out off the corner, and she's been awarded a free kick. So Jenna Doyle looks to have dropped into that midfield role. Centre-back partnership continues the same at the back from Martin Slade's side. Here's Sneddon. Adamstown looking to play out of the press. Sarah Knowles has had more involvement in this second half. Pumps it up the line looking for Jones. Evans intercepts. Jones, though, doesn't give up. Now it's Kalia Bouldery on the ball out left for Newcastle Olympic, the substitute. Field touch a little bit too heavy, but good footwork there. Now Olympic will look out right. And a little bit too much pace on it for an Adamstown goal kick. Adam will take and urge her teammates forward, although she will play this one along the ground. Certainly see more signs of improvement in the second half from the Buds. Bouldery looks to skip the challenge. Now Laurie thumps it forward. Rolfo with the initial touch and out for a throw-in.
Like we said just before, Jenna Doyle has come on into the midfield, which is probably based on maybe another midfielder just running out of legs and not wanting to disrupt that back line. I don't think she's played midfield very often, but we play nonetheless that can adapt into that position.
Had to buy a bit more of her time on the bench this campaign. Even looking to play quite high since she's come on the field. Here's Mia Cook. Doyle, who we just spoke about making the run in behind. Has a lot of work to do in that corner. Wins a throw. Sense the urgency starting to creep in for the Buds. Throwing back to Knowles. Knowles, a lovely play in field. Morgan has to go back to Knowles. Now Adamstown happy to keep the ball and keep shifting it. Olympic though, alert to the danger. Great interception by Boskowski. The final pass though couldn't reach the feet of Kalkuli. Now they're back on the front foot. Kate Heap, who's been busy at fullback, slipped it through looking for Kalkuli. And coming across, the final touch was off Hayes, and it'll be out for corner the way of Newcastle Olympic. Olympic, they don't mind a 3-2 win here against the Buds. They had a big win here last campaign at this exact place. It's now played to the front stick. It's a scramble in the box. Shouts of away from Martin Slade, still alive. Early ball in, it's not a bad ball either. But no Olympic teammates were there to capitalise.
Yeah, the pressure's starting to build up now for both teams. You can hear Martin Slade on the sideline. Getting the team up and in, wanting them to press, get the ball away. He can sniff those 3 points now, and I think both teams, like I said before, are pretty desperate to get those points.
Saturday night football has certainly delivered so far. Just a reminder, you can catch every game live and free across both the men's and women's on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel. A lot of midweek football to come. Hopefully that's not the case for the rest of the season, and we can resume weekend games as normal. But this one here certainly delivering a lot on stake for both sides. You can see the urgency for both benches. Martin Slade most notably is rising to the task. Now Jones, she goes to ground, loses her footing. Now McDonald looking to slip it through. A few Olympic runners in behind. Bouldery's the target, gets her shot away. And that wasn't too far away from goals. It's been forced out wide, but again, lovely darting behind it there from Clea Bouldery.
Yeah, it was, and I think it was a pretty tight angle for her to have a shot. I'm not sure if that was a cross, but obviously there weren't really a lot of Olympic runners that were getting in the box for her there. But a really good darting run in behind.
Adamstown now looking to play out of trouble now. Want a free kick for their hard work. So we count down to the final 15 in this one. It's the Buds that have turned around a 2-goal deficit to get themselves into position to all but snatch 3 points. Toiler now making a run in behind, but Threlfo picks it off. Oskowski looks centrally, now it's Netswank's turn to rob Olympic of possession. Plays in the area, but she can't salvage a pass, and Jess Evans has been so solid for Olympic all season round. Have to make sure her organisation and defending is on point in these final 15 or so. Now a switch out right. A chance here for Olympic. Adamstown tracking back to get bodies behind the ball. Now the shot taken, and it's an incredible save. I think Snetter might have got the final touch there. It's out for a corner. But Olympic showing again how quickly they can hit on the break.
Yeah, and again, one end from one end to the other, end swing, you know, potentially could have had an opportunity up the other end, and, you know, a quick break by Olympic to get strike on goal.
Game starting to open up. Olympic with another set piece. Can prove dangerous. These corners, that one more to the front stick and headed out. Given a lot of applause by Martin Slade, the Adamstown gaffer. It's crucial for Adamstown perspective that they don't put themselves back into the position that they were for the first 50 minutes or so. That one into a more dangerous area, scramble in the box. Net swings though. Able to regather and tries to work her feet. That one was a throw in. Olympic will at the camp. Adamstown deep into their half. Who's the player for Utara from either side that's going to stand up and take this game by the scruff of the neck if there is to be a winner?
Yeah, look, I think from Adamstown, you know, like we spoke about, I think before the game, Marion Swing, you know, she can get in those positions with some tired defenders, work her magic. I think she, for me, is the one that can get Adamstown over the line. I think from Olympic, obviously Maddie Howard's gone off, so it'll either be McDonald or potentially Kalkuli that might be able to get them that third goal.
Different looking Olympic attack as we can bounce. Remind you that is the field behind this one in the reserve grade men's fixture. Throwing goes away of the Buds. Much to Olympics' disappointment. Kingston going to have got the final touch, and now Jones potentially a shove in the back. Won't get the free kick. Will get the throw in though, which Knowles will take. She'll look to the line again. Jones, her strength. Keeping it really well. She's herself into a battle. Jones again, being the one that's coming forward to receive it off the throw in. Now Adamstown keeping the ball well. Infield to Jenna Doyle. Lovely threaded pass to open up the space out left. So a chance here for the Buds. Mia Cook looking to fashion a cross. Deflected but still alive. Unfortunately for the Buds. Get on the end of that one. Now they've got to get back behind the ball. Then it will come out wide. Georgia Hogg being chased down. And now her pass this time a little bit too heavy. Olympic make their way forward up the field.
Yeah, you can see this game starting to open up, obviously, in those wide areas as well. Both teams, when they get the ball, they seem to have a little bit more going forward, whether they get it wide, whether they get it through the middle, but we've seen a few chances either end of the pitch now. I think we'll continue to see that for the rest of the game.
Yeah, we certainly thought at the break that it'd open up that little bit more. Especially considering the importance of this game. Jones goes flying into that tackle against Boskowski. Free kick goes away of Newcastle Olympic.
Don't think either of those two would ever pull out of a challenge, so Jess Evans and Tanya Jones.
Rolfo says her options here. Her centre back partner in Jess Evans. Goes centrally. Knowles picks it off. Jenna Doyle inviting Cook on forward. Cook, she wins the initial battle. The last touch though did come off Kate Heap, and Cook wastes no time in getting the ball back in play. Now the space opened up massively. It's Bouldery slipping it through, looking for Kalkuli. It'll fall into her half. She's got to run her out right, or she might go herself. That one into the hands of Snedden. I thought she was maybe going to dink that over Snedden, who was well out of her area.
Yeah, I think it was a really good opportunity for her then. If she just looked up a little bit earlier, she could have seen Snedden off her line and potentially just dinked that one in, like you say.
Now it's Tanya Jones looking to spark a counter-attack up the other end. Aquilina out of her line. Jones will creep more forward, has options out right. She'll look to go herself though. This will be an incredible goal. And now they'll drop it back. Net swing. She's one-on-one. Net swing! Adamstown have completed the turnaround. And Mary Netswang has a brace. It all started by Tanya Jones. It finishes with Netswang and Tara. I guess that just sums out how crucial those two have been this season.
That's right. I wish I put money on my call earlier about Nswing changing this game for Adamstown, but I thought Tanya Jones, she might have just taken a few too many touches there and she could have let it go a little bit earlier, but they seemed to keep that ball and then, you know, played back across to Nswing and just a really good finish. I don't know if there was a bit of a deflection there, but yeah, what a goal. Adamstown up 3-2.
Well, Isabella Aquilina did not have too much to do in the first half. Second half, it hasn't been all Adamstown, but they've worked their way into a promising position now. This is a substitution that we thought were taking place earlier. Ash Vedder will now come onto the field. Not a bad player to have on when you're ahead. Sure, one of the instructions will be to prioritise defensive duties, although she is an attacking-minded player. But for Olympic, leading 2-0, they're now trying to chase this one. As it stands, Adamstown, their first, well, I'll say this would be their first because we know a lot can happen. But it would be their first win against Newcastle Olympic in the history of this competition.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite count Olympic out just yet. But Adamstown are in a very good position.
And they go and add another. Jones. That battle has been an intriguing one all night.
She's had a lot of opportunity to run at that back four, I think. Yeah, she sort of has Mary Nswing running off her in those little runs behind. She's taken a lot of them on herself.
Jones, clever footwork to ride the challenge of two Olympic players. Adamstown, this is the football, this one-touch stuff here in the corner that we know they can play. Organ trying to get through a few Olympic players. Now it's extend up the other end. There's a few runners in behind. But Adamstown, praise has to go their way. The way they've defended throughout this second half kept Olympic scoreless. Now Olympic will head to their bench. Sarah King to come onto the field. Drop into a more defensive position alongside Jess Evans. Jones looking to use the line to her advantage. Nearly clipped on the way through. Wants a free kick, and that's what she'll get. Yellow card to boost as well. Olympic, the wheels are falling off a touch. It's all Adamstown in these last few minutes.
Roger, you're still a striker. Georgia, 2 nines.
Surprise, Mary Netswing isn't standing over this one. Maybe a bit too far out for her.
Yeah, I'd say a little bit too far. I think Evie Horgan will hopefully put this one in a pretty good area right between the penalty spot and 6-yard box.
Going to have to be a deep delivery. That it is. And the flick on all the way to the back stick. Is it an own goal? Can they scratch it over the line? They have eventually. It is there. Adamstown grab their fourth. All credit to the delivery on the way through, and hard to tell from our angle who actually got the final touch, but Adamstown won't mind. They are on track for their second win of the season.
That's it. It was really good delivery there. I think Tanya Jones might have got a little bit of a flick on, and then after that it was just a bit of a scramble. Aquilina might have got a touch on it, maybe fumbled, but it's gone in the back of the net, and Adamstown now 4-2 from a 2-0 deficit in the first half.
Well, the highest margin Adamstown have scored this season was their 5-3 win against Magic. 4 goals in at this second half, unanswered. Seeing them ahead in this one in what is such a crucial game for both sides. Olympic, though, they're the ones that have got to put their best foot forward in the remaining stages. Not too long to go.
Yeah, I think it's tough for Olympic too. A lot of their goal scorers that have generally scored in their past games are not on the field now, obviously. Gemma House is out injured. Maddie Howard's already gone off. We've got Ava McGann has gone off, so they're relying on their substitutes to sort of bring this game home and see if they can get anything else out of this.
Johnny Bregor being introduced for the Buds, wasting time and getting in on the action. See both coaches quite vocal to end this one. But Adamstown, this has been remarkable from them. Ash Feder getting involved as well. Essentially might have been a big part if they were to come back in the second half. Only introduced, been on the field for minutes now. Now Adamstown forced all the way back to Olivia Snedden. Bump this one forward for Ash Feder.
Yeah, I think it's important here. I just heard Martin Slade on the sideline say keep playing. So when you get in these positions and there's pressure on that you need to get the 3 points, for Adamstown you start to potentially do things just to waste a bit of time. You might kick it long a little bit more often, but the best thing you can do is actually just keep playing, because as soon as you do things you're not comfortable with, it starts to go a little bit astray.
Probably sums up Martin Slade as a coach as well, the way, I can hear him emphasising it a lot last few seconds. But Adamstown, despite being well off the pace, it's probably fair to say in that first 45, have just looked more controlled in the second. Jones with the flick. Feder can release a run out left. A chance here for the substitute, Johnny Bregor. Too many options in support. Wanted to recycle to Doyle, and Doyle not happy it wasn't played back to her. She's probably in the right position there, Doyle, but pass couldn't find her. Now it's Olympic. How cool going to chase this one down, but Adamstown are all but dictating the tempo here.
Yeah, it's been difficult for Olympic to get back into this game in the second half. Adamstown have put their foot on the throttle, and Olympic haven't had much of the ball to try and control.
As it stands, this win huge for Adamstown. It takes them just 2 points shy of the top 4, which is, majority of the coaches have mentioned it midweek that you string a few wins together and it can start to mean you creep your way forward up the ladder. But despite what's been a frustrating season for the Buds, they are well and truly heading in the right direction. Olympic though at the other end. chasing it down. Done well to force Adamstown into a mistake. Heat with the throw in. Them battling, but Jones doing well with her defensive duties. Now tries to switch it out to Ash Vetter. Now it's Laurie, still full of energy in the remaining part of this one, although the throw does go the way of Olympic. Jess Evans now sensing maybe a chance in behind. Thumb forward, but Olivia Sneddon, she had a tough start to the game, going down with injury. That one though, to her hands, and she hasn't had too much work to do in this second stanza. Adamstown closing in what would be a huge victory for them and Martin Slade. They are away though to the ladder leaders Maitland in 2 weeks' time at Cook Square Park, so a team that are just unstoppable at the minute. The Maitland Magpies. Certainly a huge test for the Buds, although when they did play a few weeks back, they only lost by 2 to Maitland, which some sides have massively struggled with this season. So a huge game that is, 2 weeks' time. Now the flick on again into the hands of Sneddon. Happy to wind the clock down, although in saying that, Slade probably still wants the team to keep playing.
Yeah, I think you get caught between, you know, you want to keep playing, but you also don't want to do anything too silly. So you don't need to risk it. Don't have to in those situations. Yeah, kick the ball long and let's try and win it up a little bit higher.
Now, is there a chance here to maybe grab a consolation from a lead, but Adamstown alert to the situation. Now Vetter look to turn the afterburners on. She hasn't had too much of involvement since coming on the field. Getting into a battle here, and the free kick goes the way of the Buds. A bit of afters as well to follow. Ash Vetter, you mentioned Tara beforehand, the energy that she brings to the contest. She didn't shy away from that one there.
That's right, and I think the Olympic defender there wanted to make sure she wasn't going to get past her, because once she gets past you, it's very hard to catch her. So, yeah, good little battle there, and a few pushes after.
Adamstown certainly will not mind. What a comeback this has been by the Buds. Olympic. That's 3 consecutive losses on the road as it stands. I'll be more excited. Back at Darwin Street Oval in a few weeks' time. Charlestown, Missouri. The Buds, though, still keeping possession late on into this one. Nedden. Happy to go long to Johnny Grigor. Oh, a careless giveaway now. Bouldery invited on forward. Her final touch, a bit too heavy, and really summed up Olympic second half. The execution there in the first half. We know they were gifted a goal in that first half after Maddie Howard had her shot saved, then followed in on the rebound, but just haven't had that spark going forward second period.
Yeah, I don't think Olympic haven't had a whole lot of possession in this second half, and if you look back at their goals, you know, a little bit of luck probably went their way to get that first one, which put Adamstown back a little bit. So you think about this second half, obviously Adamstown put their foot on the throttle and, you know, obviously scored the 4 goals and had a lot more control in the game, and really struggled for Olympic in this second half.
And there it is, the full-time whistle. Adamstown turning around a 2-0 Olympic lead to win this one 4-2. Some pretty impressive goals to boost as well. Tara, we mentioned the second half and what was at stake, but Adamstown, they came out of the blocks flying, and I just wonder what was said at half-time for them to push on and win in the way they did.
Yeah, I think the second half is a lot more reflective of the way they play football. So I think that probably would have been the conversation at half-time with Martin Slade. I think Olympic were in a pretty good position, obviously getting those 2 goals early, but you know, the way that Adamstown played in that second half, they really deserved to get those 3 points, and what a really good matchup, and puts them in a really good position on the table.
Certainly does. Adamstown now, as I mentioned, eyeing that top 4 spot come the end of the season. So much football still to come. Remember, you can catch it here live and free on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel, including some midweek fixtures coming to you next week as well. Tara, thank you as always to you. We're signing off here from Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. And it's Newcastle Olympic 2 and Adamstown Rosebuds 4.
High five.